It is freezing out here, but the hitters, they play under cold, sleet, rain, whatever. Cosmo Macero, O'Neill Associates, season ticket holder for the New England Patriots, a man who's going to have to change his behavior after what they passed in Foxborough last night.
Yeah, son of a mailman, too, so the weather doesn't bother me.
$200 fine coming your way at any point after for drunken disorderly down at Foxborough?
Not me. It's a family place. It's a family outfit.
Peter Cadgis of the Boston Phoenix. And Peter, I must read one email. Lori in Chelmsford. I was shopping in IKEA over the weekend, had a brush with celebrity. It was either Peter Cadgis or his doppelganger. I wasn't sure until I heard him speaking, but that voice is unmistakable. Please tell Peter the camera doesn't do him justice.
Oh, thank you. You're very sweet.
IKEA.
Who was your... She mentions you were talking to your shopping partner.
Otherwise known as Sue Kelly, otherwise known as my wife, otherwise known as the mother of my 3 sons.
Why in IKEA if the wife is in IKEA, Cosmo? That's the question I have to ask. Don't you stay in the parking lot reading at that point?
IKEA's like an all-day affair.
Yeah,
it's
not a place you want to be if the wife is there with you. You're a better man than I, Peter. Let's put it that way.
I know that.
Let's get started. The president has come to town. Used to be a huge thing, and we'd have 50,000 people in the Common. He's at a school, and he'll be in and out of here real quickly. Big deal, no big deal. Just something for a slow March day, Peter?
No. When the president comes to town, any president, it's always a big deal. What's important about this is Obama is here to highlight, underscoring the fact that educational change is possible. I mean, here's an editorial in the Boston Globe. The Boston Tech Academy has done something that many people say can't be done. Turn around a failing, urban situation. And the teachers and students there and the principal deserve a lot of credit, and President Obama, by coming there, steps into the bully pulpit, helps share his educational agenda, Deval Patrick's educational agenda, by giving these teachers, principal, and kids credit for a job well done.
A cynic would say, how about if he shows up at Central Falls in Rhode Island, where he talked about all these pink slips that were going to be handed out, and he hasn't handed out any pink slips, Cosmo. That being said, this is a goodwill tour, sort of.
Yeah, fair enough. A cynic may say that. I think Peter sounds all the right notes here. I think he's correct. It illustrates that accountability, innovation in education, thinking outside the box, excuse the pun, and doing things like a longer school day and some things that really require buy-in from teachers, and at a time when the mayor is going to be engaging with the teachers union on some of these things, it's a really nice way to illustrate how this school, a pilot school in Boston, has really done a great job for these kids.
On the other hand, before he comes to Boston, yesterday he did an executive order keeping GITMO open, restarting military tribunals down there, and saying that we can continue to hold these people without actually charging them, at least for a time. Cosmo, Peter, this was one of his big campaign promises. He went against it again yesterday. What does this do to the believers?
Well, I think it disappoints the believers, but I have to tell you, I was right there with President Obama. It was one of the reasons I supported him. And I think Obama has realized, as have I, that not everything, mark this down, not everything George Bush did was horrible. I think Obama has found, and I've certainly realized, that it's a bad situation. Maybe we shouldn't have put them there in the first place, but now that they're there, there's not an easy way out. So I would say that I would join with Obama in say that he's trying to make the best of a bad situation.
Only the president, Cosmo, a cynic would say, can get bad press for making the nation safer, but that seems to be what happened as a result.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Look, not to boil it down to a one-liner, but I think the reality of managing these detainees, the president has found, is very different and more challenging than the ideology of how you'd like to do it. And I think it's sort of a simple
exit question on the president. If you're at Tech Boston today, pretty big day having the president come to your school. Ever have anyone cool come to your high school?
Yeah, I did. I did. The coolest person we had at our high school at the time back in the day was Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Not bad. No President Obama, but I'd take it.
Peter?
Henry Kissinger. Before he was Henry Kissinger, he was just a professor at Harvard, but he came to speak about foreign policy.
I'd stick with Hagler.
We're both dating ourselves
yes,
in our respective ways.
Mitt Romney, speaking of President Obama, front page of the Herald today, talking about the Obama Misery Index, and he's trying to get off Romney care, obviously, but now he's come up with this new thing as he preps for his run against Barack Obama, who he says is a guaranteed one-termer, yet Romney care continues to dog him and may make Romney a no-termer. Cosmo, will the Obama Misery Index shift the focus the way Romney wants it to?
I don't know if he can make that progress in one day. I like the political move of making this happen during a presidential visit. So he's got that story in today's Herald, that column that he wrote. I think Mitt's thinking today, geez, with friends like Larry Summers and Deval Patrick, who needs enemies, they keep harping on what a success and achievement Romney care was. I'm trying to distance myself. I'm trying to have it both ways. I think I get a kick out of how he says, right in the Herald, hey, remember what Ronald Reagan did? I'm trying to do that right now. I'm going to do that. So I think it's a good move politically. I think he's got a long way to go before he can manage the flip-flop on the Romney care thing.
Yeah, I think it's a clever move. And, 10 points to Romney. It's a nice political score. However, once I actually read the piece, it contains a lot of the usual Republican, shall we say, monkey shine. It talks about the failed $800 billion stimulus. Well, that stimulus added 2.5 to 3.5 points to the gross domestic product. The Democrats need to fight that back. But shrewd political move that has very little substance.
I got 30 seconds left, Cosmo. Speaker of the House, former Speaker Sal DeMacy, yesterday one of his co-defendants makes a deal with the feds in exchange for testifying against Sal and the others. Your take?
I put this in the category of everything you need to know about the law you can learn by watching Law and Order. So when a guy flips, it's not good news. It's like, hey, Sal, this guy's giving up everything over here except the ghost. You got something to say? And I think that's where this is going in terms of putting pressure on these remaining defendants, including the former speaker, because this guy has flipped.
Got to hold it right there. Peter Kadges of the Boston Phoenix, Cosmo Macero of O'Neill Associates. They're the hitters.